One thing that I noticed a lot of people did last week during our quizzes during class was that people are forgetting to look at the y-axis and are just trying to solve problems without actually knowing what graph it is. Because look at these two graphs, they're actually the exact same in terms of the numbers and the way the graphing lines look. But the only difference is this one has a position on the y-axis and this has velocity on the y-axis. So these have two very different ways of approaching the problems. Here, slope is velocity. Here, velocity is just anything on the axis. So right here, we're at 60 meters per minute. Over here, we're at 40 when it crosses, and so on and so forth. But here, in order to calculate the velocity, we have to do rise over run, right? But on this one, the slope is equal to acceleration. Always remember the first thing you should do in any of these problems is double check that we're the y-axis and see what type of graph you're supposed to be solving for. Last thing to note, make sure that you understand what these graphs are telling you if you're to do it in the real world. Here, this is saying someone is moving away to a spot 60 meters away from where they originally started. They stop for a bit, and then they walk back to the origin and keep going, and then they turn around and end up right where they started. Here, we're saying they are speeding up, constantly increasing in speed for the first 10 minutes, and then at this point in time, from 10 to 15 minutes, they're traveling at a constant velocity. Then they're slowing down, and then speeding up in the negative direction. There are going to be problems in the future where you kind of have to describe a graph, like what scenario fits this graph. Just make sure you read the velocity one and the position one, or basically just read the y-axis and form your story from there. If you have problems with that, please ask me because there is stuff on the assignment for today like this, okay? You should be good, but just make sure you double check what graph you're looking at. Okay, that's all.